Good evening and welcome. I'm sure you all have heard the news by now that Rome's leader, Julius Caesar, has been assassinated. But the questions, why and how could this happen, have yet to be answered until now. Tonight, we'll share with you never before seen photos, as well as exclusive interviews with those involved in the tragic murder. We sure hope you enjoy Julius, an inside look into the death of one of Rome's greatest heroes. Julius Caesar returned to Rome following a great military victory over the sons of Pompey, his nemesis. Upon his return, Rome celebrated with a parade. Later, following a ceremonial run through the city, Caesar rejected a crown 3 times before the crowd, who cheered increasingly for their hero. Our own Austin Norris caught up with Caesar 3 days before his death.
Well, Caesar, you have fame, fortune, and seemingly the support of all Romans. Why did you reject the crown?
Well, Austin, the people love me, the gods love me, and I love Rome. The crown could never enhance my glory, or even Rome's glory. With me, as Rome's respected leader, the possibilities are endless.
What are your plans for you and for Rome with the power you have now attained?
For Rome, I think I'll build a few bridges, some aqueducts, and possibly an amphitheater if I get around to it. And for me, I'd build myself a glorious palace with swimming pools, along with Rome's finest sculptures. Maybe even a fountain or two. Possibilities are endless.
What is your status with your senators on a more social level?
Oh man, we get along great. Us guys, we get things done. I wouldn't trade them for anything in all of Rome, Austin.
Caesar's apparent affection for his senators would be short-lived. 3 days later, many of Caesar's senators stabbed him, one by one, outside of the Roman Senate. Among the murderers was Brutus, a man Caesar had held dear as a companion.
Caesar's last words were, "And you, Brutus?" What do those words mean to you?
They're simply the last words of a dying man. I just hope he realized what a big favor we did for him. Think about it. We severely shortened the amount of time he would have spent fearing death, and Rome no longer fears the possibility of a corrupted leader. I mean, in my opinion, it's a win-win situation.
Rumors have been swirling around Rome that you yourself are as power-hungry as you thought Caesar was. How do you respond to those accusations?
It's funny you say that, because I've never spoken myself that way. I've only heard others praise my leadership and wish I stand above Rome instead of Caesar. But now with Caesar gone, the Roman Senate can regain its rightful place as the leader of Rome's government.
Cassius, you are widely considered to have led the conspiracy to assassinate Caesar. What led you to believe that he was becoming a threat to the Republic?
Well, first off, people treated him if he was immortal and equal to the gods. Yet when you examine him closely, a deaf ear, a run-in with a falling sickness, you can easily see that he's no more of a god than Brutus, I, or any other Roman citizen. I mean, for goodness sakes, I had to drag him out of the water because he was too weak to do it himself.
Tell me more about that incident.
Anything for you, Austin. It was the windy day on the bank of the Tiber, and Caesar dared me to swim the distance with him. He became weak, so I had to save him.
I see. There are some who say that you convinced Brutus he was as honored and respected as Caesar in the eyes of Romans. Is this true?
Well, I was simply telling him the truth. I mean, what difference is there between the names Brutus and Caesar? They both sound fabulous, so why should one man hold more power than the other?
Here's what Brutus had to say about the events that took place at Caesar's funeral oration.
Well, it was pretty good until Antony spoke.
Mark Antony, one of Caesar's beloved companions, had never flailed in his support and loyalty to Caesar. Even as he looked down upon Caesar's dead corpse, he begged Brutus to kill him, believing in his heart that death next to Caesar would be the most honorable way to die. However, he later pledged allegiance to Brutus, who told Antony that he would fully explain the group's motives after they had spoken to the Roman populace.
You appeared to have given your unconditional loyalty to Caesar, but following his death you quickly joined Brutus and the other conspirators. Why the change of heart?
I cannot live with Caesar's death unavenged.
I always knew he would turn on us.
Brutus spoke first at the funeral oration, saying to the massed crowd of Romans that he did not kill Caesar out of a lack of love for him, but because his love of Rome outweighed that of a single man. The crowd showed no signs of disagreement with him, even cheering that Brutus should be Caesar. Antony then went up and stood before the crowd and magnificently persuaded them against Brutus and for Caesar yet again.
How did you manage to sway that massive crowd of Romans in such a way that they turned on a man who, not a moment ago, they praised gloriously?
I am a plain man. I simply spoke from the heart. I guess I tried to show Rome a side of Caesar that they may not have previously known before. I was not trying to spur rebellion or cause war. I just wanted Rome to know how great and honorable a man they may have lost.
You did not wish to read Caesar's will before the crowd, but they roared and demanded that you did. What was written in the will that drove the crowd to mutiny?
Caesar had written that a portion of his money go to every man in Rome, and that his private gardens be open for public pleasure.
With the mayhem of the crowd, Brutus and Cassius were driven from Rome. Caesar's adopted son and heir, Octavius, returned to Rome following Caesar's death, and was quickly faced with conflict.
He was talking for I knew it, and as he grew, he'd say, I'm gonna be like you, Dad. You know I'm gonna be like you. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. You know we'll have a good time then. My son turned 10 just the other day. He said, thanks for the ball, Dad, come on, let's play. Can you teach me to throw? I said, not today, I got a lot to do. He said, that's okay, and he walked away, but his smile never dimmed. Said, I'm gonna be like him, yeah, you know I'm gonna be like him. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, the little boy blue and the man.
Were you at all surprised when you heard the news of Caesar's death?
Why, of course. In my opinion, there's never been such a beloved figure in Rome's history. In my opinion, his death was undoubtedly a result of hatred and jealousy.
One of the first things you did after forming a triumvirate with Antony and the Honorable Lepidus was create a list of people who needed to be killed. Why?
The list included all men who have betrayed Caesar and thus betrayed Rome. As a result of their disloyalty, they have lost the right to live.
What are your goals for Rome now that you, Antony, and Lepidus have teamed up to lead Rome?
Number 1 is to avenge the death of my father and defeat the traitors Brutus and Cassius. Number 2 is to build and develop the city of Rome as the great city it always has been. We definitely look forward to the future of Rome.
At the Battle of Philippi, Octavius, Antony, and Lepidus defeated Brutus and Cassius. Cassius fled the battle scene, and Brutus killed himself after experiencing horrific encounters with the ghost of Caesar on the battlefield. By watching this program, you now have greater insight into the death of Julius Caesar. For more information, visit www.michaelkendrickisanAwesomeCaesar.com. We hope you've enjoyed this production of Julius, an inside look into the death of one of Rome's greatest heroes.
Said, I'm gonna be like him, yeah, you know I'm gonna be like him. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, the little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. night, just the other day. So much like a man, I just had to say, son, I'm proud of you. Can you sit for a while? He shook his head and he said with a smile, what I'd really like, Dad, is to borrow the car keys. See you later, can I have them, please? And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know when, but we'll get together then, Dad. You know we'll have a good time then. I've long since retired, my son's moved away. I called him up just the other day. I said I'd like to see you if you don't mind. He said I'd love to, Dad, if I can find the time. You see, my new job's a hassle and the kids are the flu, but it's sure nice talking to you, Dad. It's been sure nice talking to you. And as I hung up the phone,
Get your toga on.
We gotta go. Why do we have to go?
Wait, do we have to go to the field?
Oh, my toga!
Sweet.
You're on my side!
Sure,
Sure, get your ass over.
All right, take some more photos of Paige.
All right,
Paige died. Paige died.